Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and the blessings of Allah upon all of you. Brothers and sisters in Islam, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you one and all here tonight to the lecture by Mr. Ahmad Deedat on the topic Crucifixion, X-I-O-N, or Crucifixion, C-T-I-O-N. We leave the judgment to you after Mr. Deedat has delivered this lecture. This is but one of a series of lectures on similar or related topics. We still have two more lectures after tonight. That is Al-Quran, the visual miracle, the Athlone Civic Center on Monday evening, and on Tuesday evening in Kensington Civic Center, Is Jesus God? We invite you to those lectures too. Mr. Ahmad Deedat, at this day and age, needs no introduction. We all know he's from Durban. It's borne out by the fact that he doesn't speak Afrikaans. He's a banana boy. He has just returned from an extensive Arab country tour lecturing on these very topics. We are indeed fortunate to have such a man in our midst, and such a man who is so willing to answer our call when he came from his extensive tour. I am sure you didn't come to listen to me, so I want to ask Mr. Ahmad Deedat to take the floor.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسارا صدق الله مولانا العظيم. Mr. Chairman and my dear brothers and sisters, on the subject of the crucifixion, the Muslim is told in no uncertain terms in the Holy Quran, the last and final revelation of God. He is told in chapter 4, verse 157, وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ, that they didn't kill him and they did not crucify him. وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ, but it was made to appear to them so. That is what they thought they had done, the Jews. وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ لَفِي شَقٍّ مِّنْهُمْ, and those who dispute therein are full of doubts. مَا لَهُمْ بِهِ مِنْ عِلْمٍ, they have no certain knowledge. إِلَّا اتِّبَاعَ الظَّنِّ, they only following conjecture, guesswork, fiction. وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ يَقِينًا, for of a surety they killed him not. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, could anyone have been more explicit, more dogmatic, more uncompromising in rejecting the dogma of a faith than this? The answer is impossible. The only one who could afford to do such thing would be the Almighty, omnipotent, omniscient Lord of the universe. He is the only one who is entitled to speak in such terms. إِلَّا اتِّبَاعَ الظَّنِّ, they only follow conjecture, guesswork, fiction. The Muslim believes in this authoritative statement of the Holy Quran as of God, from Allah Bari Ta'ala himself. Hence, he asks no questions and he seeks for no proof. He says, my Lord saith. This is what my Lord says. Amanna saddaqna. We hear and we affirm. To this Muslim attitude, the Christian retorts that we do not accept your book, the Holy Quran, as of God, and as such, it holds no authority for us. And they further reason that how can a man 1,000 miles away from the scene of the happenings of the alleged crucifixion and 600 years away in time tell us what happened in Jerusalem some 600 years before? We say that this is from God, the omnipotent, omniscient, the all-knowing. He knows, and he has revealed this knowledge to his messenger Muhammad. The Christian says, had we believed in these statements of the Quran as of God, then there would have been no problem. We would all have been Muslims. And that is actually what would have happened. If they believed that this is Allah's Kalam, they would be all Muslims. They say, further claim, that we have written records in our scriptures of eyewitnesses and ear witnesses to the happenings in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Now, if the Christian reacts against the Muslim attitude, if he reacts strongly, we can understand. Because his salvation depends upon this belief. To him, this is the most important thing of his religion. As Saint Paul, the self-appointed 13th apostle, the self-appointed 13th apostle of Jesus Christ, as he claims in the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 14, he says, if Christ is not risen from the dead, our preaching is vain, your faith is vain. In other words, you got nothing. He's telling his fellow Christians, he said, look, if this had not happened, Christ coming back from the dead, then all of Christianity is worthless. The Americans would say garbage, it's all garbage, nothing. You haven't got a thing. The only thing you have is, Paul is telling the Christians, is the death and resurrection of Jesus. If that is not there, you haven't got a thing to tell anybody else. And we know the truth of this statement. Because no Christian comes and tells us that we will teach you hygiene. I'm talking about personal hygiene. We are the most hygienic people. No Christian will come and tell you that we will teach you hospitality. We are the most hospitable people. No Christian can come and tell you that we will teach you ethics or morality. Though we have our little shortcomings, but in South Africa, we can boast that the Muslim, he has the lowest alcoholic consumption in the country. He has the lowest gambling rate in the country. He has the lowest prison rate in the country. He has the lowest suicide rate in the country. He has the lowest divorce rate in the country. And he has the highest charity rate in the country. There is not another religious group in this country who can show a candle to us that we are better than you. There isn't. The only thing the Christian can tell us is that you have no salvation. There is no Jannah for you. There is no heaven for you. Because all your good deeds, he says, are like filthy rags, rubbish. All your good deeds, your salat, your zakat, your hajj, your saum, all these are like filthy rags. And he quotes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 64, verse 6. Filthy rags. They count for nothing. Salvation only comes through the blood of the Lord Jesus. Now the title of this evening's talk, as well as the booklet on the subject that has been given to you, Crucifixion or Crucifixion. See, while one utters the words, it's hard for you to catch the joke between fiction, F-I-X-I-O-N, crucifixion, and F-I-C-T-I-O-N, fiction. You see, it sounds the same. When the speaker is speaking, crucifixion or crucifixion, you think, what is it? It is repeating the same word. How can it be or this? But when you see it in front of your eyes and you see this fiction